And we're here. We're here on another day on the Mitch and Mike voiceover podcast.
I am also here.
We are giving cheesy smiles because we are very beautiful human beings, and we want you to see that. Even if you're only listening to us, you must hear how beautiful we are. Mitch,
Yes,
Mitch, you are beautiful.
can be beautiful if I smile correctly. Is that right?
No, this is not.
Okay. Is that right? Yeah.
What a weird way to start a podcast.
It
What are
is
these
very
two
strange.
doing?
Yeah, especially
If you haven't
people
figured that
only
out
listening.
by now, by listening to us, then yeah, we are not your normal podcasters. We're just a couple of weirdos getting together and talking. So here we are being weird. Hey, what's
Hi.
going on, Mitch? What's going on with you?
What's going on with me?
Yes.
Well, Michael, I have big news for the cast. I don't know if I told you or anyone out there. I got my first SAG-AFTRA job.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You texted me a few days ago.
Okay, so it's in secret almost.
Yes.
Well, I had to talk to one of my mentors, who I will keep anonymous so no one texts him. But I had to go, is this real? Am I being punked? Am I being scammed? They want all this real information, and it's hard to believe that I would get a SAG-AFTRA job off of Voice 123. Pretty interesting. So yeah, I snagged this thing. They're like, hey, email us here. I was like, first red flag, email us instead of using Voice 123. And then and there's all these other red flags in my mind, and my mentor's like, no, it's clear. You're clear. Run, go.
Wow.
Yeah. So it worked out. It was 6 minutes of recording.
Wow.
And I said it was 6 minutes. One line said 8 times maybe. And they're like, bye.
All right. What is it for? I mean, can you say
wish
what kind
I
of project
could
it's
tell
for?
you right now. Yeah, it hasn't
can't?
come out yet, but Easter egg for later. I'll let
Yeah.
everyone know when it's out and about. But
All
yeah,
right.
so that was very cool. That
Is
was my
it something
big
that a lot
news,
of
Michael.
people might see or hear?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on the television or
Ooh,
on
Kenny. Very good.
or on the interwebs. I'm not.
Hey.
Yeah, I think it's TV, all broadcast. Yeah, for a few months. So,
Cool.
what's going on with you, Mike?
Oh, kicking around. I'm going to be doing some recording later tonight. I have
Yes.
a project that I am working on for someone, and I am voicing some characters, and I need to get her some additional recordings. I did 2. I'm doing I don't know, it's 8 or 9 characters for this project.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah. And I did 2 of them. I was sick all last week, so that
Okay.
that sucks for a voiceover actor, because I couldn't,
Does it?
I mean, even I think it was last week when we recorded with Tim and with Tim Powers. Tim Powers. who
Tim
was on our
Powers.
show.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
He's gonna
Hope
watch
you're
this.
listening. Yeah. And then we did a workshop with him, and the whole time I'm hitting mute because I'm just,
Oh yeah. Which was
so
a freaking blast for anyone.
It was.
Yeah. Let's shout out Timprov.
Yes. Timprov.net, is that what it is? I think I have
think
it
that's
actually
what it
written
is.
down in here somewhere.
Yeah, because
yeah.
he couldn't.
I believe.
Because somebody already has the rights for Timprov.com.
Well, that's the thing. Is he
unfortunately.
said he's trademarked Timprov. So if
Yeah.
you Google Timprov, not improv, Timprov, you'll find it.
Timprov.
I think it's timprov.net. But yeah, it's great, and the sessions are I think $25 per session, so it's really reasonable, and it was a blast. We had a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a blast, and I was hitting mute constantly because I was hacking. So actually recording something was difficult. So I finally was able to get some of that stuff done last week, and I owe her a lot more scripts. So I got to work on some of those tonight and doing
That's exciting.
Got a couple auditions I'm working on, one of which I will not say, but Mitch, my buddy Mitch, and I kind of worked it out a little bit before we started
yeah.
recording. So I
Worked on that
bounced some
Boston.
ideas off of him, and he gave me some of his thoughts, and I think it made it better. So hoping for good things there. So
By the way, I love coaching. I'm not a coach, but I love opening people's mind up to what else could happen. I'm not always concise with my ideas, but it's really fun to just see what else people can do or what else they're not thinking of, which
Yeah.
happens
Well, and
to me.
I like the collaboration. I like that when, we have a group Discord with a few of us that, we encourage one another. And Mitch is the best of the group at posting something in there, just going in there and saying, hey, guys, take a listen to this and see what you think. And then we come back to him with constructive criticism. Either you nailed it, or I like this one better than that one because, or maybe you could do it this way a little more. So even though we're not coaches, we're collaborating, we're bouncing things off each other. And sometimes you need that second set of ears to hear something that maybe you didn't when you have your I got to put my smile on and be conversational blinders. So it really does help. Here's some advice, listeners, and I know we say we don't give advice here, but we are. Bounce stuff off people. Have a community. We talked about community a couple weeks ago. Have a community that you can collaborate with and get their takes on your reads. You don't have. I mean, you need coaching. You can't do this job without having a base of coaching and without constantly trying to improve your craft. But that costs money, and you don't have to constantly drop money if you have a group of people that you respect, that you can for free throw stuff off the wall at each other.
Yeah.
It really does help.
As long as they know a shred of something,
a little bit,
I can give you terrible advice.
As long as you respect their opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
If they come back and say, "I think you should read that as a clown," maybe they are a clown, and
like,
they
wait a
need to be
second,
giving you advice.
Everything's clown with this guy. The heck's going on?
We like our clowns.
I think we led in pretty well to our topic, Mike, which I remember to be our positive attributes of ourselves and our negative ones, kind of like a job interview. I was thinking about this. I think about it every now and then because there's some things I'm like, I just wish I could blank as a person, and that's not me. But so you were nice enough to bestow upon me being good at communicating with the group. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tiny heart.
Yes.
What do you see in yourself that's like helped you? I mean, probably all these help you in life, but what's helped you in the industry? One of the top ones.
I mean, I feel like creativity is a strength. I feel like I can pull a character out of a hat sometimes, and I might not always get it right, and I might go, I feel like I can read a script and not take too long to figure out what that character sounds like in my head. And so, I mean, that's what I want to do, right? That's why I got into this. Yes, commercials. Yes, narration. Yes, corporate narration. All the things that will sustain me, I hope I can have success in. But the main thing I want to have success in is animation, because I just like to have fun doing voices and doing characters and actually acting. And so I feel like I can pick up a script and I can look at it and I can read it, and I know pretty quickly what this person's going to sound like, which is sometimes just me, be in a certain mood. But a lot of times, with a cartoon character, it's as big as I can make it in a certain way. So I feel like, that's probably my best strength from a voiceover perspective.
Okay.
How about you?
My best strength from a voiceover perspective in the industry, I'll start with the industry, not as an actor.
Okay.
I'll start with just in this group settings. I think, for the most part, my need to be liked my whole life has turned to wine in a sense, where it's more like I don't know. I'm a lot of dead air because I'm really trying to make this make this
How do I
right.
say this?
How do
I'm
I
really
say
good
this?
at putting my thoughts together.
That's bad. That'll be on the bad list. And everyone who knows me knows that. Or anyone who's listening to this goes like, why can't he figure out what he's saying?
He talks for a living. Why can't he talk? If he talks
because
for a
I'm not
living?
reading a script. Please tell me what I'm good at, script.
ChatGPT, what am I good at?
I love group think in the way that, like you said, with creativity and camaraderie and helpfulness and lifting each other up. I've definitely never been a shit talker in sports. I was more of a like cheer people on. This is great. Like people are cheering people on. I love this. So I think that's me. I'm good at being a cheerleader for other people.
Okay.
And then just befriending in a sense. I think
Yeah,
that's helped me
I will
along.
say, I mean, that first workout we were in, you were the one that direct messaged me, and was like, hey, this guy's kind of cool. I'm gonna get to know him. I wouldn't have thought to have done that. So you are definitely the more outgoing when it comes to just reaching out to people you don't know, and even people you do know, and getting and lifting them up. So.
You have that feeling. I'm sure you have that feeling. Even in a workout, when you're in a workout, you're not alone. You're with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel alone because you're trapped in your little I need to read this script thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're new and you're like, what are they going to think of me? And all this stuff. And if like when I get a direct message or any kind of message, like a hi or even someone like being jokingly a jerk to me, I'm like, yes, there's the love. Okay, we're good. But walking in and no one saying anything to anybody, it's almost like being in this room by ourselves anyway, if that makes any sense.
And it's the worst part of it because, yes, you're in this room, you're isolated. At the time, you're the only one talking, but you know that everyone's eyes are on you. And they may never say anything to you. They may never put anything in the group chat. And really, when you're doing those workouts with GVAA, and I don't know how it works with other, with Gravy for the Brain and with, any other coaching group, where you do a group session. Sometimes, like with Katie Lee's, everyone's together and everyone's working the same script, so there is a little bit more talking amongst each other. But usually, it's like, okay, it's my time. I take my mic off mute. I do my thing, and I may see little faces going, "Oh, yay," or thumbs up.
Right.
But you don't get much unless you get that. You start talking about it in the chat, or maybe at the end. Or like you reach out and, hey, let's talk later. So yeah, appreciate that about you, bro.
Aw. I've got plenty of. I think both of us have plenty of positive and negatives to run through, but I do want to hear. I actually have never heard this and don't really see much of your negatives, so I would love to hear your ideas on what might be in your way, so to speak.
Well, I will say something, and you'll go, yes, he's talked about that many times. I am not as much of a go-getter as you, and so I fail a lot at the marketing myself, at putting myself out there, finding work, finding
He's
areas,
said that many times,
and emailing, and just cold emails. So I hate sales with a passion, and so when I'm trying to sell myself, that's even worse because I'm like, wow, that's not a product that a lot of people have used. So it's difficult. What else? I mean, I hopefully have gotten not quite as bad about this, but I am one of those people that I can get in my own head, and I can be in my booth and working something out, especially when it's a commercial. If it's a character, again, I mean, I'm flowing with that, and I have an easier time tweaking that and making it what doing the things I feel I need to do to make it better than a narration piece or an e-learning piece or a commercial piece where I'm just like, I know it's not right, and I keep reading it the same dang way, and I keep listening to it going, I didn't change a thing. I feel like I put more of a smile on, and I feel like I did whatever, and I feel like I'm more conversational, and I just get in my head like, what are you doing? Like, you're not hitting this, and sometimes I will get to that point where I'm just like, well, I'm done working on this. This is as good as it's going to get, and I hate getting out of the booth like that. I want to come out of the booth every time going, yeah, nailed that sucker. But there are times where I just feel like I'm not putting my best foot forward, and I know that a good portion of that is me just in my head, that little nagging voice saying, you're not good enough. Mm-hmm. You're not doing it right, and you're never going to get it right. So,
damn.
I know. That little voice is harsh sometimes.
Yeah, that guy's got to get the lights punched out of him. We're going to beat that guy down before he walks in. Yeah, that's... I have that guy, too.
I think we all get some respect.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Unless, your ego is the size of the world, you probably got a little thing going like, that could be better, bud. What helps and what's helped me is having so many to do that I can't really think about that as much. It's like, all right, time to be you. Like, you better be you real quick, because if you're not going to be you, then this is going to take forever, and you're not going to get to the other 6 that are there before they're gone. So that does help. But, I can roll into mine from yours, because, wow, we share that. We're kindred spirits in the... Especially when things are really good, it's like heaven.
Yeah.
It's like pulling me up.
It's like that runner's high, but it's the I don't know, the voicer's high.
Yeah.
Where you get that endorphin rush of like, that was good. If they don't hire me from that, what are they thinking?
Yeah, and when I'm dancing out of the booth, and that can happen for anything, when I'm dancing out of the booth, like, I got this. It could be a day full of really boring commercials, but if I really got to be me in a couple, I'm like, And then I don't get a call from any of them, or there's no thummies waiting for me when I get back, and I'm like, I didn't sleep so well today, or the last night. And then, you get that sort of drag on you, where it's like, so what are we doing here? So I think both of us need to figure out the way to level that out, probably. Not entirely sure. Maybe we need to ask the experts out there. Maybe they can call me and tell me how to level up. But there's a lot of highs and lows, and I get real low sometimes.
You know what the worst is too? When you have those highs, when you come out of that booth and you're like, nailed that. And it's for a pay to play. You're like, feel good about that. And then you check back, and then you check back, and they never listen to the frickin' thing. That's the worst.
I hate
it. Bad enough. It's bad enough when you think you did it really well and you don't get the thumb or whatever. Yeah. But at least they listen to it. And okay, maybe they didn't think as highly of me as I thought of myself.
Right.
But when they don't listen to it, and you're like, oh man, if they would just listen to it, they would hear. They would hear that I'm the right one.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that's what every diamond's thinking when they don't get chipped out of the earth. I'm so beautiful.
I'm so beautiful. Just chip me out and I will shine and sparkle.
All right, Mike, we got to end on a good note, though, in the sense that I want to hear another one of your pluses. Something you find.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. It popped in my head, and I'm like, I'll save it for the end. Okay. So one of the things that I feel I am really good at is being directable, being coachable.
So good.
Taking feedback and incorporating it. I feel that, when I'm in a workout session and I have a coach that's, I do a read and they're like, that's great, but try this and do that. Mm-hmm. I do it. And I get great feedback from it. I will get, like our buddy Sean Daly, who runs, he kind of like hosts a lot of the workout sessions for GVAA, and he'll put in the chat all the time, like, great job taking direction, Mike. And I can hear him say it too, because he's just so peppy.
Yeah, he's always so bubbly.
Yeah. And, and I listen back to it, and, I'll watch it again, when they post it. And I feel like, okay, she said this, and then in my next read, there it was. And so I feel like I take direction very well. And part of that, I think, comes from being a director myself. I mean, I've directed some plays and things in a younger life, and I still do church work and stuff where I direct kids and everything. But I really just take that to heart, because I love it when somebody will listen to me as I'm like, that's great, but if you could try, doing this, or hey, I need you to hit this line a little bit different, or
and then you hear it come to life.
I'm not hearing what I need, and they do it, and if a director comes back to me, and again, I mean, it's all in good natured. It's never like, you suck, you need to do it this way. It's all like, hey, that was great, but we can make it better if you just do this,
right?
Or try this, and so I'm really good. So I feel like, when I start booking and I start getting those, those Source Connect sessions and everything, that I will be one of those people that the casting directors and the clients and everything will go, he's easy to work with.
Yeah. Because
you hear it all the time. Tim Powers said it. He's like, the way to succeed in this, and one of the big keys to succeeding in this industry is don't be an asshole. If you're in a booth and you're in a recording session and somebody's telling you to do something, and you go, and you fight it like a disgruntled teenager, you may be better than person B, but they'll bring person B in because they're easier to work with.
For sure. Yeah. And being directable. I can vouch for you, Mike, that you are directable. We had that little session before here, and you took everything and you ran with it, and it was super fun, and it was different, and it was so easy. You're like a wet ball of clay.
I'm moldable. Just look, watch. Look how moldable I am.
Oh my God. It came with sound effects.
I know, that just farted right out of my mouth when I squeezed my cheeks.
Added in.
Oh, you got to be watching this on YouTube, but even if you're not, you heard the noise of me molding my face.
Oh my gosh. And his brain. It must have been your brain making that sound.
If that was my brain making that sound, you need to call 911.
Uh-oh. I don't have my phone.
So, all right. What last one then, Mitch? You give me another positive about you.
It is kind of about the directed sessions as well, and probably plays into my making friends and where I go is my playfulness, and I guess it kind of goes with imagination. But I'm down for anything. If you want to go super raunchy, let's do it. If you want to direct me super straight, if we need to completely change directions, I'm becoming sort of known as the off the cuff guy, where you don't quite know how things are going to come out of my mouth. And I think people are maybe noticing that if they're listening to this, where I have an odd cadence, and so I just play that up. I play up my odd cadence in a lot of my auditions, and I get some good feedback on that. So I think even in commercials where maybe there's a little dryness, I try to find something where I can go like, ooh, let's play with that little thing. Yeah. And I think that's helping me out. Slowly but surely.
And I can vouch for that, having done a bunch of these episodes with you and talk to you many, many times over this past year that we've known each other. You like to play, and you like to come out. And I won't even say you like to get out of your comfort zone, because you don't have a comfort zone. You're like, yeah, let's do it. You want to be baby pigs? All right.
Yeah.
whatever it is, you're like, yeah, let's do it.
This is
and that's great.
Probably this is what most of us voice actors have been telling ourselves our whole lives. We don't want to grow up. We just want to be children playing in our rooms with dinosaurs, and they say weird shit.
Yes.
And we swear, and then we tell our mom we swore, and then she goes, well, why'd you do that?
Go get the Switch.
Yeah, go. Or like, just don't.
Yeah. We grew up in different eras.
We sure did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, quick, the little thing, I have a thing called, what is it? It's an obsessive disorder. It's unwanted intrusive thoughts disorder, where things come into my head. So if I was a kid thinking about swear words, I would have to tell my mom about it all the time, and it drove her crazy. So if she was hitting me for every swear word that went through my head, I might be deformed today. So that's a fun.
We all have our things.
Easter egg for later as well.
Yeah.
But here's the deal, Mike. And I don't know if anyone out there even knows this about me, but my playfulness, it comes at a cost.
What would that cost be?
That I need to do it now, right now, Mike. I need to play, and it needs to be what we call Chat GPT roulette.
Oh, baby.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. All right.
Oh!
We worked up something different for you.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking earlier about how much we like to play around. But this time we're not going to play.
No play today, sir.
We decided today we're going to take it serious. We want you, the listener, to know that we aren't just goofballs, that we can actually act. And we can do the serious stuff too, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, can you believe that it's possible that Mike and I are of the age that we could be father and son?
It is possible. But it's not.
On this
Remember,
day,
I had never been to Detroit before earlier this year, so.
Yeah, it's not physically possible, just in the realm of imagination.
Yes.
It's possible. So we're having a nice, quiet fishing trip, father and son, and, the rest just kind of speaks for itself. We're just casting into nature.
Say, Jake, I've been thinking about you and Emma.
Yeah? What about us?
Well, you've been together for quite a while now. Have you, thought about tying the knot?
I knew this was coming. I don't know. Dad, it feels like a big step. What if I rush into it?
That's fair. But, sometimes you just got to trust your heart. I remember when I proposed to your mom. I was scared, but I knew she was the one.
You were scared, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have doubts?
Well, sure. Everyone does. But what you got to remember is love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice that you make. It's about building a life together and supporting each other.
Yeah, but what if we change? What if we grow apart or something?
Well, change is a part of life. If you're both committed, then you can grow together. It's about facing those changes hand in hand.
I can't lie. I guess that makes sense. I love her, and she makes me a better person.
Exactly. Just remember, it's not about perfection, all right? It's about finding someone who makes you feel at home. Does she make you feel at home?
Yeah, but do you really believe that?
I do. I really do. Life is too short not to take the leap. If she's your heart, then maybe it's time to make it official.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. I'll think about it.
Yeah, well, just remember, whatever you decide, I'll always be proud of you.
Thanks, Dad. And scene.
And scene. I love you, son.
Now we're back to being goofy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that was deep. I mean, I got kind of, I don't know if it's just because I'm warm, but I'm kind of sweaty after that. Got real up in here.
Your dad starts talking to you about real stuff like that, yeah, and you're not on, you're not ready for it.
Not prepared.
It can make you sweat.
I cannot imagine being pushed to get married. That sounds tough.
Yeah, I mean, I got married when I was 20. My wife was 19. I proposed to her when I was 19. Asked her parents if I could marry her when I was 19. And you better believe they were like, you guys are too young. But look at us now, 34 years later. Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
We showed them.
That's what I love to hear, Mike.
Yeah.
And many more.
Many more. Yeah.
Wait a sec. Your marriage is almost as old as me.
Hey, wait a minute.
Nice.
All right.
Mike.
Well, that was good fun. And
you.
for more marriage tips, email us at Mitch and Mike, Mitch and Mike's VO Journey at gmail.com. And,
or email us separate because they're going to be a bit different.
You can also post where we post these. We'll post these on our social medias and announce, hey, we got a new episode. If you're listening to this and you hear something, you want to hear us talk about something, make a comment there and say, hey, I'd love if you hit this topic, or hey, maybe you should have me on as a guest, or hey, maybe you should talk to this person, or hey, maybe you guys should go jump off a cliff because you're horrible. I don't know, but hopefully you don't feel that way. I mean, if you listen, we're 30 some odd minutes into this. If you listen to us for 30 minutes, hopefully you're not thinking, boy, these guys are horrible. Because if we are, then the joke's on you. You're the one listening to us.
Yeah. Freaks of nature. Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to say that?
I mean, they're freaks, but we love our freaks.
We love you, freaks.
We love you, freaks. We'll see you next time.